So, but when the people decline, the population, I think there's a need for to take care of the work that is done by the humans. So that's where I think the humanoids will have a time if you cannot have all those tasks to be automated. You talk way how you treat people, everything like gets changed, and also you respect each other. So this is a perfect place for some multinational. There's so many nationalities. We have more than 20 nationalities right now. So it's a very, very diverse culture.
I remember about you, Charith, is that you gave several chances to one person that I helped you guys hire in the past that didn't do well in the interview, and you gave, I think, 2 or 3 chances to that person to still prove himself. And he ended up being a very, I guess, now senior member in your team, and we're live. All right, awesome. Charith, thank you so much for being on the InnoHyve Podcast. Finally, finally, this is happening.
We're here,
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Axel. For
I'm
organizing
really happy.
this. I mean, we've been like bumping around for many months. I think after that, we can now finally we can have the session today.
I stopped counting. I think I stopped counting at 5 times of rescheduling.
That's right.
Here we are, my friend. We'll make it happen.
It's real.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the goal today is really to extract as much, of your wisdom as a CTO, as an engineer in general, for the audience to learn a little bit more about you, who you are, and also about what Avatarin does. And then we can also talk a little bit more about relevant topics when it comes to robotics. Before we dive into it, I want to start with the why. Like, how did you get started in robotics? Like, what got you excited about it, and what led you to take the journey on?
Yeah, so it goes back to, I think, like back in 2006. I mean, that's when I first came to Japan. It was for a project that I did in Singapore. So it got selected to this event called iTokyo 2007. So with a team of 4 members from my Singapore lab, we came here, we presented, and we got a lot of time. Like we had like about 2 to 3 weeks time. So we started going to like different professors' labs and looking at the demos and all these things. And at that point, I think actually like we went to a lot of like humanoid robots, and not to mention the humanoid robots. I mean, there's only few countries which is heavily involved in humanoids. I mean, of course, US. Then in Asia, it's Japan. So I had of course, like if I was in robotics first of all, so this cleared me. Like when I saw lots of robots, humanoids, and stuff, like I got more interested into humanoid and like mobile robots and stuff. So that's the start.
What got you excited about humanoid robots? Because I mean, often some people are also scared of it, right? Like I was, before talking to you, I was looking into this whole Uncanny valley, I think, and like what got you kind of attracted by it?
Yeah, the humanoid. I mean, it's mimicking a human, or like all the motion is actually like it's a predictable motion that's very common to a human. So you already know what it can do, what it cannot do in an extreme case. Of course, like the technology is a barrier. So it's like you are engineering another human kind of thing. So that's and also like to give superpowers, augmentation and all these things. So that's what it was interesting to me, because from a small age, one of my dreams or goals was to help the like the society, mankind and stuff. So when I was thinking, okay, in a technology wise, robotics enthusiast, maybe humanoid fits more better in this the 2 worlds and so on.
Is that what got you into haptic Teleexistence?
Yes, yeah. I mean, the haptics. To be honest, it's a new thing. Like from the when I was started, it got me excited, and it's a new technology, right? So, how do you mimic the exact same feelings, sensors as a human? So not just the audio and the video, but also like having a sense of touching, pain sensation, and these kind of things. So that's where the haptics came into the research and so on. Yeah.
What, like, how to say, when you, I think your PhD, this is based on what I saw on LinkedIn, right? In 2013,
2000. Yes, I got the PhD on 2013. Yeah.
and that was in haptic teleexistence.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like
correct.
back then, like, did you imagine things evolving faster or slower than where we are right now?
I mean, in terms of haptics, I think it got stuck somewhere even now. So now it's everyone would say it's the AI era. The haptics was one thing booming. The second thing was VR. So unfortunately, they didn't pick up that much in the recent years. Like the AI probably like surpassed these technologies and so on. Yeah, I mean, but recent days, I think we talk about humanoids. There's a lots of humanoid research going on in the world. And as for a humanoid, if you want to control similar to a human, anything like manipulating like a bottle to like pencil or anything, the haptics sensation or the sensors is very important. So that's why I think the in robotics, very specifically, haptics plays a huge role in these sensors. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did it kind of slow down or not move as fast as AI, for example? Is like hardware limitations?
I guess it also connects to my previous answer that haptics is only, I mean, majorly used in humanoids, but there was a time that we couldn't get cheap manipulators or like actuators for the humanoid robots because it's a piece of engineering. Humanoid robot means a huge power is needed, but also it's in a very small footprint. So you don't want to create a human with the size of 2x. So is the size is kind of like decided, I would say, compared to like other things. So we didn't have much actuators. Where there was actuators, there was a long lead time. It was so expensive. So I believe personally, this was one of the reasons why the humanoids didn't pick up. Because of that, also like there's a lot of maintenance that needs to be done for the humanoid robot. So it was not so normal thing for the automation industry kind of thing. Automation is something that you make it something and then it just runs like for few years without any problem compared to people. But humanoids are even like you need more maintenance than a human at that time. So these were two
Mm,
main reasons. Of course, the robotics community ROS support for humanoid kinematics. There's lots of changes that's happened in the past maybe 10-15 years. So it's more, I would say, cheaply approachable these days compared to, let's say, 15 years ago.
yeah, yeah. You mentioned, so basically you came to Japan for your studies. Like, did you ever consider to move to the States at some point? Like a lot of people, they start startups and then eventually they leave Japan, right? Like, have you ever thought about this? Because your whole career has been in Japan pretty much, right?
Yeah, my master's PhD is in Japan. No, I mean, actually, I didn't think to go to US at that time. I think one of the biggest reason is, I'm from Sri Lanka, so it's closer. Access to Sri Lanka or like close to the home was one thing. Then the second thing, everyone knows the culture is more Asian than Western. So these were the two reasons. But the trip to Japan, if I didn't find anything that was like very useful in terms of robotics, then maybe I would have probably reached to US back in 2006. So yeah.
Interesting. I guess walk me through. I want to talk about Avatarin, your role there, but maybe before we get into Avatarin, I feel like maybe walk us through briefly your role at Teleexistence, because I feel like it's really connected to what you're doing at Avatarin, right?
I would say my PhD research was directly connected to the work and also the stuff that I did in Teleexistence. So my PhD, like a topic, haptic teleexistence, bodily border, so it's more like consciousness and these kind of things. And I've did design and also like created the control system for a robot called Teleza 5. Maybe you might have seen the videos.
It's on YouTube, right? Yeah.
Yes. So while we were working on it, and I mean, I did the PhD, and then I've still stayed in KO, my school, for 4 years as a senior assistant professor. So during that time, I get to do lots of demos, pictures, and all these things. So one day, actually, the two members of actually Avatarin right now, Akira and Kevin, they reached to me in our office, not office, the lab in Miraikan. Hey, we are doing this ANA Avatar X Prize. We would like to bring your robot to showcase what is teleportation alternative that is existing in the current technology stack. So that was exciting. So we packed everything. We went with a team of 4, and that's actually the first encounter of Akira and Kevin, which is right now. We worked together in Avatarin. Then we came back, and then of course, like together with my Professor Tachi, we were talking about, okay, so we would maybe like how can we commercialize, because there's a huge potential, there's a huge need. Like while we were in US presenting for this Avatar Prize, there was lots of foreign investors and a lot of people came and asked us like what's the technology and stuff. So we saw the potential, so which was like not seen before, not just me, actually my professor. So we came, okay, so what about like can we do a startup here, kind of thing. So that's actually the beginning of Teleexistence. So we started with 3 of us in the co-founders, and then the first robot, I think you might have seen the Model Edge, which is also a humanoid. It's very much based on the research that is carried on with my PhD lab and so on. Actually, my professor was at that time was the chairman of the Teleexistence as well. So all the haptics to the humanoid, the mobile platforms, how to reduce the cost, what it should be look like, all the things. I think there's a lots of things that I gain from the research and also put into the actual R&D and for mass manufacturing. So that's actually the connection between the Teleexistence and me. Yeah, I've only worked in Model Edge at that time, which is the humanoid. Yeah, so I actually left around end of 2019. Yeah, I actually left Teleexistence and I joined the Avatarin.
You were like because I think Avatarin was like founded around 2020, correct?
Avatarin was founded on 2020 April. Yes, that's correct.
So you're a founding member of the company as well.
Yes.
Exciting. Yeah. I guess walk us through a little bit like what Avatarin is, because I remember at first I thought I looked at the robot first. I was like, wait, this is just like an iPad on a stick. I remember having that kind of like kind of being confused, but it's so much more. Once you look into the website, like there's so much more. Like maybe walk
Yeah.
us through a little bit the mission. Yeah. Well, what did you get excited about as well to start in Avatarin?
Yeah, so I mean, it goes back to all the work memories and everything. So I will go like back and forth. Uh, when I was doing the Model Edge, we use lots of things, know-hows, and everything from the research to the development and stuff. So from the beginning, I had in a mind that like when I started working on the Telesaf 5, I wanted to commercialize one day this technology. So I've started creating module by module slowly. So eventually these modules became like the common pieces of even the Telesar 6, the next version, as well as the Model Edge as well. And while working and stuff, robot is a humanoid robot is not that cheap. It's quite expensive even today. Of course, right now these days it's becoming smaller, cheaper and stuff. But 10 years ago, it was quite expensive. So
How much was
uh,
it? If you can give me like a number just to comparison with now.
it's I wouldn't say exact number. I think it'll be maybe like buying 2 supercars or something.
Oh wow.
That's the cost for research, academic research. Then we
Yeah.
did. So it's, I
Yeah.
mean, for normal people, it's definitely not affordable.
Yeah.
So I didn't, because of that, I didn't see what are the problems, what are the challenges that we have when deploying robots. Because, okay, after all, like maybe some rich person would buy, but that's limited to that, right? So, but if you
Yeah.
want to make a service platform, you need to have lots of deployment, so then what are the challenges and stuff. I mean, this is like typically the nature of like deployments and everything. So humanoid was very exciting for me, but at the same time, to know what it takes to deploy in mass scale, I hit a wall there because it wasn't the best option at that time, according to my understanding. I was looking into small robots, mobile robots, and stuff, because if you see eventually, like a robot is like a piece of mechanical electronics and if what pneumatics. It's a piece of engineering that needs to be work without a lot of human intervention, but at the same time, it works long hours. It needs significantly less maintenance and so on. So for
Mm.
all these things, a humanoid robot requires a lot of attention there. But what would be a better option of a robot? So I was thinking maybe the mobile robot is one option. So at that time, my objective was, okay, let's deploy many robots and see what's the actual next step that we need to do. So that we started from Avatarin. It's a very affordable robot, I would say, compared to a humanoid robot. It's gonna be cost like a cheap car or even less than a cheap car. So it's the market, or like the price value is right there. So a lot of people can buy it. And then when a lot of people buy it, when a lot of people use it, we learn from that. So then I think we can engineer, re-engineer, we can iterate, we can improve. So these lots of things can be done. And at that point, Robert, if you put it as it's just one like a machine. In the future, of course, like it can have legs, it can have arms, it can have hands, but we started from the very simple base, just head, as you said, it's like an iPad, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
application and so on. So from the beginning, it was also like the time of AI kind of thing. So we install like one of the main processor is from NVIDIA. It's capable of running AI workload. So these things has helped us to add AI features and stuff into the to the environment and the robots as well. So this is like very simply I would say like why the shift from humanoid to the
Interesting.
mobile.
Basically, the ability to mass deploy, collect a bunch of data, learn from actual human
Yeah,
interaction with the robots, and
yeah.
interesting. You mentioned like, you know, at some point, like when you have more data, maybe like making more humanoids, but like for example, with your robots right now, is the goal to at some point make them more humanoid looking like, or like have you changed your mind on that, or?
So the technology is always available. It
Mm,
has becoming cheap, but I think we need to read the actual need from the customer's point of view. So still in even in Japan being a lot of robots being you're gonna get see a lot of robots in a day, still people reluctant to interact with humanoids. I mean there's lots of like research and stuff that has been done. So but the generations passes, new technologies coming, AI becoming a norm, robots are everywhere with the decline population, so all these things can change over the time. But as you know, someone with running capabilities with the hands can do something. They feel a little bit little bit like dangerous kind of thing. So this
uneasy.
is yeah. So to first win their hearts or minds, I think it's always like better to have like a simple, harmless, kawaii robot. That's the basic like rationale on that. But once you have
Yeah.
that, like you can build up on that. So I take a very like simple example. Have you used
Mm.
iPhone 3 when it came?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the
Back
first
in
iPhone I ever got?
2008.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
and if you compare today, like what iPhone 18, 17, how many features, how many things have evolved? So the technology was not there, of course, like by that time. But if you had so many applications like that, iCloud, like you name it, like even like the panoramic view, the cameras, portrait, like all these things back in 2008, people might be have difficulties in choosing that. So what they did is like a
Mm.
small transition as from the Blackberries, like what it called the smartphones at that time. Then it gradually built up. Like it added
Mm.
like big cameras. Now it has like what, four cameras. It has good better sound. You have the music. So it's like a gradual transition. So this gradual transition is easy for people to adapt than doing a lot of change at a one single time.
I mean, it's the whole thing in tech where you can be too early, and like you say, you probably miss a couple of like those transitions,
Yeah,
and that makes you be too early. And because yeah, I see your robots. I never seen them like in the airport. Like, I think you guys are in a couple of airports now, or
yeah. I mean, mostly right now in Haneda Airport. Yeah, we
okay.
have a couple of robots. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I shall. I'm going there in a few weeks, so I will take a look. But yeah, I saw the
yeah,
website, I saw how they look, and they look, yeah, like just comfortable to interact with. They actually do look like comfortable to interact with, not like intimidating or because even the Pepper one and stuff from SoftBank, I feel like I don't know, it's already a little bit. But the
yeah.
reality is the ones from Avatar, and I find them, like the ones from Teleexistence are pretty scary, so to speak. Where
Yeah,
like
so I mean, the more it becomes bigger, like huge, and also like multiple like things moving, and people gets to scare
yeah.
kind of thing, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's in the US, right? They're smashing the ones from Tesla right
Mhm.
now. Like people.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, but
I wanted to.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, at one day, this kind of telepresence robots or like mobile robots become a norm in the society. Then,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, like we can put like hands, arms, and everything, so it'll be less
Mm,
scary
yeah.
at that time because they
What's your
already
prediction?
know. Yeah.
What's your prediction in terms of timing? When will we be there that people are feeling very comfortable to have humanoid robots around them?
So I don't like so there's a very I do always tell to my friends and colleagues, in Japan and also like outside the Japan, like automation devices getting more and more, how to say, very intelligent.
Mm,
Like for example, your washing machine. I mean, it can clean stuff, can dry it. It can also like remove the wrinkles, and then I mean,
mm,
what else would you need? This is probably like it's at some day there might be things that we can automate with just specific devices. Like take a look at again the microwave. I mean, microwave can like cook perfect like meals and stuff. So, do you
mm,
need let's say like a special robot that can walk in your home to do the laundry and cooking? It's gonna be a preference. So for me, I would say okay. So that's a compact, small. I would prefer the microwave. It doesn't talk, run, just press a button like it would be better.
mhm,
And there are things that you would need a humanoid robot to be moved, like for example, in during disaster situations, going out in the factories to move stuffs, where things that cannot be automated even
mm,
today. So I think this is the point where the humanoids will be needed.
mhm,
But people are more and more also looking into the ways of automation of all these things as much as possible. So these are in a two different tracks, but they are in the same direction. So which one surpasses? I mean, I'm not sure, but
mm,
they are both advancing at the same time. I mean, even as we speak. But when the people decline the population, I think there's a need for to take care of the work that is done by the humans. So that's where I think the humanoids will have a time if you
mm.
cannot have all those tasks to be automated. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that makes sense. I want to ask you as well, like when you start a robotics company, how quickly do you start thinking about, I guess, scaling? Because you come from a research background,
Mhm.
but you kind of answered the question, right? Because with Avatarin, the whole start was right away thinking about scaling, right? Like deployment, collecting data, and is does that make a big difference in terms of like success for a robotics company? Would you say to have right away the mindset of scaling?
I would say, I mean, this is probably not in my kind of thinking. I would say the base is very important in any company. There you will have to set the rules, regulations, documentations, workflows, all these things before you start scaling. So this is one of the mistakes that startups do. A startup is typically like some investor funds you, and then you have the time pressure to do things in very quicker way. So you don't care about the rules and regulations, and your whole primary objective is to get something working. Then okay, the demand gets even bigger. Okay, so how do we deploy it? So then they directly go to the deployment, and at some point it's going to be very difficult to scale. So this has happened to me in the previous as well. But I would say a stable scaling is gradual. But once you have your base, it's gonna be parallelly scaling. So that's the strategy that I'm taking, I would say. But it takes a little bit more time in the beginning,
Mm.
but the scaling, when it comes to the scaling phase, is gonna be faster, and everyone will be able to like scale on their own. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of what I see with a lot of the partners that I support in robotics. Is like they hire a lot of times purely to have like a working product, but the
Mhm.
deployment phase requires an entire new set of
Skills.
talent, new set of skills. And so then you're found like often the engineers are getting bored as well with that kind of work, like the ones that
Yeah.
did all the the 0 to 1 phase. And that seems to be a big challenge. So like if you start with a team right away, you put in the right habits, like you say, the rules, the regulations, and you think about deployment right away, I feel like, because hardware is tough, right? Like
Yeah.
it's really tough. I mean,
Yeah.
software is probably different, but yeah, interesting. You were part of the design for the first robot at Teleexistence, the one at Avatarin as well. You were as involved in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Like, what's how do you how do you think about when you design a robot? Do you think about how a human will feel, like how they will interact? Like, what's the thought process to design a robot?
It depends on, I think, the what's the essence that you're trying to communicate. So in terms of Avatarin, as I mentioned, so you need to deploy a lot of robots to find what are the challenges in the deployment, or like what happens, what the customer wants. So you need to be in a mindset that this robot should be able to like use by a wide range of like people, a wide range of nationalities, genders, like, so all these things. So that was the prime like objective. So you can see it's very simple, and it's just have less features to the customers, but also like a lot of offload processing and stuff has been done. So, but if you take a humanoid, that's completely probably a different thing. So these are probably the things that I would see. I mean, what would be the path that it should take when it comes to the design and everything.
Because your the main case of your robot right now is in airports, correct?
Yeah, it works as a how to say uh, information channel. So we have these information desks and stuff. So it can we have staff place, so they can go here and there as to look for the people in need for help. And also, like on the Numi side, you have a button for assistance. So when you click it, airport staff will connect and give you the necessary information. So I think you might have experience like in an airport, like how many times you have going to a information desk, right? So it's a real need, but also you're panicked at that point that you need to go because okay, it's either I'm gonna miss the flight or I don't know what to do. So it's it's a very like a different situation than you are calling a customer care agent to fix your Wi-Fi or something in a weekend or something. So this is two different things. So what we are
Mm.
doing is the help when it need. So it has to deliver as soon as possible. So you don't want to like wait in the line for like several minutes, or even like some cases like in the call centers you have to wait for hours and stuff. So
Mm.
at the same time you want to deliver the best help that you can provide, and also to facilitate the person because he might be already like frightened, afraid of a lot of things. So how can we do this thing? So it's not just engineering, but the way how
Mm.
we speak, the way how we answer, like it's all in all yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like those help desks and stuff. I probably would waste a lot of time trying to figure things out on my own, and eventually have to admit to myself I need to get ask
Yeah.
for help. And then there's probably a long line as well. And I'm like, damn it, I should
Yeah.
have gone earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's interesting. So basically those robots are really an extension to the support staff
That's
on
correct.
site. And
Yeah.
you guys, like, now that you deploy a lot of robots, like what are some interesting like facts you collect from data, like with user interaction, that you were like, oh, we did not expect that?
It might be very strange. Still, we get lots of feedback and stuff. The current robot or even the functions are, it's hard to understand. Is one of the highest things. So this also proves that like how, if you want to create a universal UI, universal product, how difficult it is to create that so that anyone can understand. So the usage is it's clear, so you get to connect to that. So up to that, like, okay, where do I press, what do I do, this kind of things. I mean, still people struggling on getting that. And another thing, I mean, airports are quite good in being handling the internet traffic, because they are hubs that typically the carriers provide better connectivity into the airports. So it's also an ideal place to have a proper decent connection. But if if you don't think about the airports or something else, like when it goes to the suburbs, of course the network is not so good, it's chirpy. So that also adds some cognitive load when connecting and stuff. So yeah, these I would say, yeah, like some of the findings overall that we did.
So even though you design it as simple as possible, people still, it's kind of not easy for them to, like,
Yeah.
how about like I mean, when you guys started Avatarin, I guess LLMs were not yet
No.
as
Yeah.
right now. Like, is
Yeah.
that completely changing the UI you want to offer to customers?
Yeah,
'Cause-
so right now we do have the human actually answering the calls and stuff. Of course, I mean, you can imagine in the future we will have automated channels answering and these kind of things to powered by LLMs and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's gonna get easier and easier for people to use, and
Yeah,
at some point
so
you will just talk to it, like, yeah.
exactly. So the fact that, I mean, you mentioned yourself that, like, for example, you wanted to speak in the airport, but the airport being very big, the information availability is like very less. So you end up like probably like wasting a lot of time and stuff. But I think rather than that, I think the information should be available widely in the space. So that's what yeah, we are trying to solve here. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see so many ways that it will increase revenue for an airport. Even because, like, for example, if I don't know where something is, I'm just probably going to stay as close to my gate as possible, and then I'm not going to consume anything in the airport, for example, right?
Yeah.
Like, by just staying where I am out of safety. So if I'm feeling safe enough to know any point in the airport, I will have relevant information on where to go and have, the right information. I can see
Yeah.
myself spending more money in the airport as well, actually.
Exactly. And I mean, is to mention the fact, I mean, we've been very grateful to be a part of ANA, like Holdings group company. So we get the access to all these things because deploying something in an airport is not that easy. It needs to run so many regulations, safety and everything. So we do every day, is to support that and so on. So that also means that in the future, I mean, not just like communication, like we can also like scan areas, automatically navigate, like all sorts of things that we can do it with this mobile robots. Yeah. Airport is I would say airport is like a mini city because it has almost everything. So it's also a potential. I mean, if you want to do something in a shop, we have shops. If you want to do something with the restaurant, we do have restaurants. So handling the baggages, we do have the baggages. So it's kind of like mixed of like a lot of use cases that we could also potentially use it in the future for mainstream as well.
Yeah, and like all the different cultures, all the different language, like you really
Yeah.
have like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. It probably got you very excited, like having that will of like deploying, collecting a lot of data, like seeing like deployment in an airport sounds a lot of fun. Actually, now I'm thinking about it that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
interesting.
international, yeah, it's languages. I mean, you get to get a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, and people are tense. Like people are
Yes.
tense, and like they're relaxed and tense at the same time. You get
Yeah,
both of
that's
them.
true. Yeah.
Interesting. Like what from you guys hiring a lot of engineers, and that's kind of what I'm mostly also supporting. Like what makes Avatarin a great place to work at as an engineer?
Yeah, I think we are a startup, but now it's a matured startup. So we have a proper, like a very stable baseline of engineers. So it's a growth stage since I think 2024 to 25. So I would say the engineers feel more comfortable, stable. Onboarding process to everything is very smooth. These kind of things sometimes like the engineers are getting a lot of frustrated when you go, so there who's my mentor and these kind of things. So apart from that, it's a multinational, there's so many nationalities. We have more than 20 nationalities right now. So it's a very, very diverse culture, I would say. And when it comes to diverse cultures, the way how you talk, way how you treat people, everything, like gets changed. And also you respect each other. So this is a perfect place for someone who is like paying more attention on the communication and everything. And in terms of technology, of course, we use the cutting edge technologies from web technologies, streaming technologies to AI, LLMs, so many things. So I think you get to experience like lots of new technologies, not only for development, also actually deploy at a large scale. We do not do like early prototypes kind of things. We have a proper way of like requirement gathering and all these like steps. So when we start, we see it planned, how do we deploy and everything. So we reduce the time like looking into the for like unforeseen problems in the future kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, I can see how attractive that is to engineers, because a lot of people who come from early stage startups, that's what they also get very frustrated about, right? They work very hard on a prototype, it get
Yeah,
canceled the next week, they have to do something else.
yeah,
It's fun for a while, I think, but at some point people probably want to, like you say, have a bit more
yeah,
foreseeable future and also feel like contributing to a bigger picture probably as well, right?
exactly. Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of members are very helpful, I would say. Like, so they're like, it's a very good culture we have. So, yeah, I think that will also help everyone to be, feel as, like, in a good environment kind of.
What I just want to plug into the podcast is, I remember about you, Charith, is that you gave several chances to one person that I helped you guys hire in the past that didn't do well in the interview, and you gave, I think, 2 or 3 chances to that person to still prove himself, and he ended up being a very, I guess, now senior member in your team, and he's been there for a few years and super happy. Yeah, I haven't seen anyone out there in the market yet doing that, and people struggle with interviews usually. You probably are the only one so far that I've had seen doing this, like, hey, let's try it again, let's try it again. Like, this is pretty rare, so I wanted to mention that because I think that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, our
um
hiring process is actually, we can't find perfect people. So that's one
mm,
thing. When we have a job description or anything, we will have, let's say, this person needs to have 7 different skills, like technical and non-technical, let's say. But
mm,
having 1, 2, 3 skills, I would say like 70% of the skills, like if 70%, 60%, of course, based on the person, if it satisfies according to our screening, we give a
mm.
chance for them to because they have 7 things they pass means they are not bad. They might
Yeah,
not
yeah,
have experience the other skills, they might not have, they have room to improve and stuff. So we give the chance to improve the remaining. And when we hire such person, I think we are willing to also like help on those career improvements and so on. So that's the mentality that we have. Yeah, I mean, you
I
also
think
know that.
robotics it's necessary, right? You
That's
need to
exactly
do
how.
it to
Yeah.
fair. What's driving you personally, Charity, these days? You work hard. Like, what's something you really want to achieve? Because in the grand scheme of things, you achieved quite a bit, right? In your field,
Mm-hmm.
you've done what most people probably never achieve, right? Going from research to actually building a product, scaling now, like building a massive startup. Like, what's the drive right now?
I think we are in a great era that, I mean, two of the technologies, the AI, LLMs, or these kind of things, as well as hardware, robotics, are getting boomed. And it's the time that people in need in the future. So I would say in the next 10 years, 15 years, by 2050 for sure, we will see more and more robots and stuff. So what my thoughts and stuff is what we can contribute there with the knowledge and everything that we have I have gained, like stability, proper deployments, these kind of things, because it's not something that creating one prototype or something, but multiple thousands of 10,000s of robots deployed, yet it's controlled, safely, and so on. So that's my one of the goals. And once you have that, there's going to be a lots of data. So it's going to be like a private intelligence, that we can grasp from the data itself. So that's opens up new possibilities that we don't have today. So today, for LLMs and everything, that like maybe people chat on a chat GPT or Gemini, so it's all text, or some people will add photos and stuff. So these are the prompts that is set right now. So this data is gonna use it for training and stuff. Have you ever thought about like what a robot can bring into this picture if you have so many thousands, 10,000s of robots? So not just text and video, of course these two can be done, but environmental conditions, the temperatures, the humidities, to how many people passing by. So these physical things are gonna get more connected to the AI brains and stuff. So I think that's gonna be a new revolutionary thing in the future.
So pretty much you're still as, I guess, curious and excited about technology and support of mankind, and like the initial drive is pretty much still there now. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
things are crazy. Like, I'm not an engineer. I didn't like study for a technical background or anything, but like I got lucky enough to choose this field to recruit for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like, I was like, literally before we talk now, I was like vibe coding again. I'm like getting really into coding and like automating workflows and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus, if everyone now, because that's where we're going, right? Everyone will be
Yeah.
somehow capable of building products, collecting, data, and like
Yeah.
really exciting times. Like, as a CTO, like, what are your biggest stresses, like on a day-to-day basis? Like, what are the biggest challenges you're facing?
Challenges, I mean, of course, there are technical challenges every day, everywhere. I mean, when we trying to build new things, because the clients, our customers, of course, like needs lots of things. I mean, this is as usual. So how do we tackle them with a proper timeline and the challenges? This is one thing. Second thing is, of course, being Japan, a declined population country, and not that much technical resources, so hiring the right person on the right time is, of course, challenging. Our timelines are like to get in to the interview, to the visa process and everything. We just put a 3 months. That's a 1/4 of the year. So like you can think that, I mean, this is if he's coming from outside Japan,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And you're
we
not
do have.
controlling that. You're not sure, right? It's 3 months, like depending on immigration and how quick
Yeah,
they
it
are.
depends
And
on. So the 3 is probably the minimum or something.
that's wishful
So
thinking, like so far from what
yeah,
I see. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So this is, I mean, to plan something for this year is already challenging. Okay, so like that's the reality kind of thing, and also the visa processes and everything is also challenging.
Mm.
And build a multinational or like a lot of people with different mindsets, nationalities working together in the same place. This is also not so simple. Yeah.
Yeah. So tech problems, hiring problems, and human problems. Like people
Yeah, I
like,
mean, human or the cultural differences, I would say.
yeah. Yeah, no. How do you prioritize? Because I mean, the reality is, like you say, your list of problems is probably endless. How do you
Mhm.
prioritize between this is the most important? Like, how do you prioritize things?
I think if it has to be done this week, I think those becomes the most priority. If it is a month, it becomes the next one, and so on. So that's one, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, common rule. But there's also, things that is more, how to say, if this is can be done, this will impact a lot of people. These
Mm-hmm.
people means like not the clients or anything. Let's say a one small problem, like the entire technical team is like affected, or the entire business team is affected. So these kind of things is also taking into the priorities and stuff. Yeah.
So the team members basically, right? When you mentioned people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the whole thing, right? Like your talent is probably the most important asset as a company. Like if you lose your talent, like how, and that's kind of like how much of a priority is it for you? For example, if there's like a conflict in your team, some people don't get along and stuff. Is this something you put very quickly on top of your priority, or do you try sometimes to just let things like rest? Like how do you handle that?
If a conflict happens, yes, I mean, I take it very serious because, I mean, it's like a family, right? That means the someone is not happy or having some problems with another member. So that means all the things that we have done so far maybe has some problem or something. So uh, before it gets how to say escalated or spreading, I think that becomes one of the highest priority in my list, I would say. Yeah, because no matter what you do, I believe the team is the most important thing in a company. So to protect the team, scale it properly is one of the most important things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you have a great workplace, it's kind of, I won't say guaranteed to be successful as a company, but having a great workplace and good people, like it will take you pretty far, right? Maybe,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's
I
true.
feel.
Yeah. But also you're
What's mm,
building a team kind of thing, right? So you're not just like trying to protect by yourself. So like
yeah,
each and every one will protect. So that's kind of the
it's
walls, kind of.
it's tough. It's tough, and it's ironic because I tried to scale my team last year, and I eventually had to let people go because I realized I know how to hire, I know how to recruit, but I don't know how to
Hmm.
hire for my own company.
Uh-huh.
And it took me a while to realize like being a recruiter is completely different than being capable of building an actual team around myself. And
Yeah.
I took many slaps in the face last year, thinking I knew stuff. And leads me to the next question. Like, what's something that you learned about hiring you wish you learned quicker to avoid like a lot of pain, I guess? Like, what's one of the biggest lessons you like, okay, if I knew this from day one, I will have avoided a lot of pain when it comes to hiring?
I think that again goes to the principles of the company. I mean, it could be the company, it could be the things that you want to protect, kind of things. So, in our company, we want long-lived members work happily and contribute to a common goal. So this is what we are building. So how do we get this kind of people? I mean, it took a while. to be honest, because I mean you can't, it's not about technical skills. I mean, today I don't even like check the resumes and everything, like the technical stuff, because the team members, like the baseline members, like they are capable of like checking the if they are competent in technical, and I trust them now. But this is a long, like, you know, with the long experience, like after the technical filter, who will be fitting, who will not be fitting, who will have problems with who, you need to picture that out in the, you know, in an interview. So it's like, so technical wise, again, this person is very great. But if you can picture out, okay, so when this person is in this team, he will not have any troubles. He will be great. I think that's the decision that I take.
Interesting. Yeah. So basically trying to simulate like, okay, when that person will join, how will they interact with XYZ?
With all the other members, yeah.
Is it like all the other members or like specifically their own team? Like, for example, you meet like a top tier engineer, you know they're going to solve a lot of the pain you have on, you know, technical challenges, but you also know that they're going to fight with someone outside of their team. Like that's you kind of see it happening. Will you still hire that person, or will just say no, we'll skip it? Because there is a way probably to isolate people a little bit in their teams as well, and their little kind of bubble. Like, how about that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I mean, in Avatarin, I would say no, I wouldn't hire. The reason is it's just a matter of time that it becomes a bigger problem. And why is that? The every person that who is already in the team have a trust. This company is not going to put someone who is gonna be bad to the team. So this is also why it hurts if someone has a problem. It's just like directly slapping, right? So we need to be careful on adding that. So if we know from the beginning, we definitely try to avoid this the best.
Do you think people can change?
I do think people can change.
Because one of the big mistakes I made is I saw a lot of potential in certain people, and then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna, you know, help them grow and change in that aspect. And I ended up spending most of my time doing that. And my conclusion, yeah, people can change, but only if they want to. You know, you can't change people, right? So
there are things that I think people can change. There are things that it'll be hard or maybe not possible to change. So yeah, I mean it really depends on what aspects and stuff that you are looking into. Yeah, so yeah, you're actually right. Yeah, so yeah, some things, yeah, maybe people will never change. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, I love working with engineers, but some of them have like really strong personalities, right? Like, and not always like I guess the best social skills as well. So
Yeah.
I can see a lot of challenges like that. Like, yeah, so you're meeting someone like, how will the like? I find this really interesting, actually. How much do you actually really think about it? Are you like, how will they interact during lunchtime, or how will they collaborate on a project? How far do you take it when it comes to thinking? How will this person be in the team? Like, how far do you take it?
So our final interview is all about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a 1 hour of interview. So we have a set of questions and how we ask there's no right answer for these questions. So like based on the answer, we determine whether they're gonna fit or not. So that's basically that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the fact you said like the current team you have is also, they trust you to not add, you know, toxic people or people that don't fit, right? So breaking that trust will be a big problem. So there's like that pressure from that side as well on you, I guess. Interesting. I want to ask you, Charith, as well. Like right now, like it's getting really tough for people to get jobs in the market, and like you guys are like posting your jobs on LinkedIn. You know what it is, right? You get like thousands of applicants, and it's pretty hard for people to stand out these days. Job hunting is actually changing, and usually people with less than 3-4 years of experience, they shall not come to me. Except if they have very specific skill sets. But like, how can you stand out in the job market right now, in this very noisy market where applying for a job is frictionless, right? You can just click on a button and apply for a job. So everyone is kind of on the same baseline. How would you, if you had to job hunt today, stand out in the market? Forget about all your experience. Let's imagine you have like zero experience. How would you try to stand out in the market?
I mean, yeah, I haven't done the recruiting, but I would say, um, even like regardless of the tools and services and everything, people do trust people. So I think trust is one of the most important things when it comes to like a decision, like getting a job, finding a job, these kind of things. So I think this, I mean, if like for example the recruiter can provide such thing, I think people are gonna get attracted, because people who wants to move from outside to Japan, I mean, it's a huge risk, dedication that they're making, and they want to do the right thing, right? So like recruiters would have more experience and smoothen this process than in a company, for example, I would say, because they can tell lots of knowledge based on the past and everything. It's like a huge pool, right? Then also catching up with them and to break their ice and everything. I think it could be like one of the things that would be stand out compared to the just clicking a button kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's things are changing just so fast. It's pretty crazy.
Things are changing. Yeah, it's like, I mean, with AI, a lot of things, right?
Are you optimistic overall? I mean, like someone like you who has like very deep understanding, I can also imagine that you have like sometimes negative thoughts, like of where things are going. What's like one very bad outcome you can see happening in the next coming 5 to 10 years when it comes to, I guess, AI, not just robotic, but AI on its own? Like, what's something you're personally kind of worried about?
Well, I mean, it's been already. There has been, I think, several research has been out. The people who used, I mean, the kids who use AI, the knowledge is kind of like different from the kids who did not use AI. So there's gonna be differences, because AI is a tool, right? I mean, for you to like get some help and stuff. So a lot of people, I think, even in the interviews these days, people are like trying to cheat, these kind of things. So these are bad things, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I would say like there will be rules and regulations, I think, in the future, hopefully, to protect them, because right now there's not many. With that, AI being a tool, it's the same as like that you use like the search in Google, because there's no restrictions, so you can use it. But beyond that, I think you can have lots of consequences kind of thing. I mean, someone, let's say, comes to the interview, passes all the interviews with the AI tools and stuff, but when you do real thing, I mean, he's gonna get stuck, and we will realize at that point, right? So
yeah, well, there's this kid, right? He made this. He nailed all the interviews at Amazon. He actually got an offer just cheating his. I'm sure you saw that. This
yeah,
guy
yeah,
raised
yeah,
a bunch of cash, right, for his startup.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like I think it's QB, or I forgot the name of the startup,
yeah,
but
yeah. I saw that as well.
yeah, I had this conversation with someone where it's it. If someone finds a way to cheat his way through it, like, wouldn't he also find a way to solve the technical problems, for example, at a company? Don't you feel like for example, that kid, right? He builds up a tool to cheat his way through an offer to Amazon. Would you hire that kind of person? Like, he's definitely not an idiot, right? He finds a way. Would you hire that kind of people, or would you be like, nah, there's a
I
principle
mean,
of doing things,
yeah, I'm not against AI. Like for example, like even in our company, I mean, lots of people uses like Gemini or like other tools, just for day to day like searching and finding the questions. But I think the human brain and like the solution is like still superior than like asking AI. I mean, AI gives you the answers. What to do is depending on you. So if the person can process the answer of the AI and do the right thing, I think he's genius
Right.
still. But if you just follow the AI without
Yeah.
thinking, that's the problem.
Yeah. And this is actually what happens to me. Like when I'm vibe coding and people make it so accessible these days, like, oh, you can vibe code. And I'm like, no, I can't because I have no clue how things work. And I
Yeah,
just get stuck in those loops where
yeah,
I'm clearly, like, an engineer will look at me and just look at me like a donkey, like just keep
yeah,
repeating the same error all over
yeah,
again. And so I'm like, we're definitely not there yet where anyone can code. And like, because now I'm going back through like Python books and learning the whole, like, how things actually work, because just vibe coding your way doesn't work. Like, at least that's
yeah.
so far what I see,
Exactly. I mean, you can use AI to learn, but I mean, this is purely
Yeah.
for learning, right? So, I mean, once you
Yeah.
learn, if you think, okay, as a tool, I mean, okay, so you don't know how to solve this problem, you can ask AI, then understand what it gives, and then solves it without AI. I think that's a good way of like using it as a tool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one day, like, I mean, while you're using like 5 times, 10 times, if you think, okay, I don't want to even learn this because AI can do everything. So every time when you want to code, okay, I want to ask AI. I mean, that's, I think, the wrong thought that could come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest opportunity though for people these days, because
Yes,
like the amount of
exactly. Yeah.
times that I talk to people and I'm like, hey, we should do this or do this, and they're like, yeah, what's the point? Like even this podcast, like I wanted to start a podcast last year, and people were like, yeah, but why do a podcast? Hey, you can already, with Notebook LM and all this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, nobody will do anything anymore, So
Yeah.
I can just do stuff and stand out very easily because nobody wants to
Yeah.
think. And I think what you were mentioning is like just the lack of critical thinking. Critical thinking
Exactly.
is going to disappear. I catch myself sometimes in that as well, where I'm like, oh my god, like I when you're a little bit tired, you're just going straight to GPT, and now like
Yeah.
I'm literally in a notebook always again and like pen and paper, because I can just see the nastiness. And I'm a father, and I'm very scared for that for my kids. Like,
Right, exactly. I mean, the kids could go because they have not seen the way of like thinking and stuff. Because I mean, that's where it could go very bad.
yeah.
Like for a person who is coming from non-AI era, they already
Mm.
knew how we solve the problems, and this is just a tool. But a person who is just right in this AI era, I mean, they might not even know, they might not even learn how to solve problems without AI. So that becomes a bizarre.
Yeah, that's the danger. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Couple more questions, Charith. Okay, that's the one of the last questions I want to ask you, Charith. If you were to start a new company today, let's say, Avatarin has a successful path, everything is done, you don't have a role there anymore. What's the next thing you want to build?
What's the next thing?
Yeah, what's the next
I
thing you
mean,
would like to build?
I mean, out of the robotics, or
Nah, whatever your wildest dream. Like what? Like let's imagine tomorrow Avatarin is like massive exit. You're as rich as Elon Musk. You're done. You don't need ever to work anymore. Like what would you work on? Because I'm sure you still will work, right? Like what would you build, work on?
I think it will be technology for sure, and something that could get us to people as much as possible. Technology. So I mean, one, like for example, Neuralink, or like some mind reading or something, or else like implants, these kind of things. So I mean, it's probably because of like the humanoid or something. I'm also like interested in the biomedical as well. So humans, I mean, in 10-20 years time, I mean, you can imagine that the people will come with artificial limbs and stuff, like as you see it in the movies and stuff. So that becomes a interesting human machine kind of thing. So I mean, in this area, like I'm much interested in as a field. I mean, yeah. If you ask me what, yeah, I mean that's probably. I mean, I haven't thought about that much. What I can do in this area, yeah.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to stay focused with because everything seems to be unlocking at the same time right now, right? Like so many things
It
are
is
like,
hard, yes, yeah,
yeah, I
because
can
everything
imagine.
is happening at the same time, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. A
It's
lot of my
AI, yeah.
engineering friends are struggling. Like they're like, man, I want to do this and this, and like But the people who really succeed are sticking to
Yes.
only thing,
Yeah.
while still, I guess, stay sharp, right? You still need to be very open-minded, still be curious, but only contribute to one specific thing. Probably is what you're supposed to do, I guess.
Yeah, I think the a lot of things happening is I feel like I think so. For example, I mean robotics are like the main area, and also like AI recently, and all the other things that's happening. I think I see it as like a supplement for them. Like, oh, how what I can use it for, like my interest, this kind of way. So that's why keeping it up to the knowledge, but not
Yeah,
to get too diverse is one of the ways that I would use. Yeah.
that's the challenge. I've struggled with this a lot last year. Like last year, I started my company, and it's such a weird thing when you're free, so to speak. Like you just
Yeah.
start doing everything, and I was like, man, I need a boss. I need a boss again, someone who tells me to stop messing around and like
Messing
just stay
around.
focused.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
true. That's true. That's true.
Two last questions for you, Charith. Like, what's the kindest thing someone has ever done for you?
I mean, the humanity and the like I mean, kindest thing as in like when you are need in help,
Mm,
when you are really down and stuff. I wouldn't say like in a specific situation. If someone is
mm,
like asking specifically, are you okay? Do you need any
mm.
help? Because this is like beyond something technology or anything. So I mean, of course, like we feel touched and feel very proud being humans, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think that is disappearing these days because of like all these technologies and stuff. But still, being able to like feel and well as like do that, I think that's a great thing, I would say.
yeah. It is getting lost. I'm. This is something that, like I think asking for help has become like a very like a skill, so to speak. Like being able to ask for help, because everyone
Mhm.
seems happy, right? Social media, everyone looks happy. Everyone, like all people show is happiness, and they're like. But
Yeah,
I often talk to friends of mine when they're asking like, how did you build so quickly a company and stuff. I'm like, I'm just super good at asking for help. I ask help all the time.
right, right,
every
right, right,
day every day I'll
right.
ask for help to someone, and I feel like it's something that's getting lost because people are less and less proactive probably about asking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's
Interesting.
true.
Interesting. Last question. All right, best advice you will give to like a starting engineer right now?
I would say start with a 5 year or something plan, because that's gonna drive you for the entire. And I've come up with like lots of engineers. They have changed the career from completely different paths and stuff. So this also fits to them. Trust what you do. And I mean, today there's so many tools that you can like get information, so you won't be alone. It's just your willingness, trust, and your hard work, dedication. So but if you do lots of things just to put it in the resume and stuff, I think it'll gonna be like a short term kind of thing. So this is actually one of the questions that I ask even from a lot of members. Okay, I want to improve my career. What should I do? So this is also like some kind of like related. So I would say like, so you learn from doing skill one, you will learn entirely, let's say like 70%, and you can probably get 40% of that learning to the second thing. But if you try to do it in the same time, two things, you won't be able to reach up to that level. So once you are capable of doing one skill, you will not only learn the skill itself, you will learn a lot of other things. Then it's time to move it to the second one. So don't start with lots of things. Keep a one goal. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially with AI right now, like skipping steps it's so easy.
Is so easy. Yeah.
The amount of skills that you think you're picking up just because AI is like so positive as well all the time, telling you
Yeah.
you're smart. Yeah, that's good. Like I guess, commitment to one skill until you
One.
truly are
I mean,
strong with it, right?
the skill is just a driver, but you will learn interacting with people, writing emails, like writing code. So in general, you
Yeah.
are like the more you stick to the same thing, you get the confidence, and also like you will learn a lot of things that's gonna help you in even the daily life as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess just doing stuff, right? Not just consuming. It's easy to get high on the knowledge these days. Like I had
Yeah.
my I think last year at some point I felt like smart on so many things, and I realized I couldn't do anything actually. Like, but it's just easy to get high on the knowledge, right? It's
Right.
because
Yeah.
knowledge is free right now. But
Yeah.
like finding the courage to do something and look bad and actually understand how good or bad you are at something,
Yeah.
that's gonna be very, very a lost art. Yeah. Awesome. Charith, thank you so much.
Thank you
Well,
very
look,
much.
I knew
Yeah.
we were going to have a lot of fun. Finally.
Finally, yes. Yeah, finally we
Finally.
had it. I think like it's more than half a year, I guess, right?
Yeah. You know, no joke, like I'm not sure you can see, I bought an Ethernet cable for today to make sure my Wi-Fi doesn't
Wi-Fi
collapse.
is
So I ordered like a massive cable that goes to my living room from my
Wow,
office just to make sure we're actually set
that's
on the
great.
Wi-Fi. And it did hold back. Yeah. Charith,
That's great.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Absolute
Thank you,
pleasure.
Axel. Yeah.
I'll stop recording now.
Yep.
Perfect.